Sifu. What a game. Not much surpasses it. Is this video going to be me hyping up this absolute masterpiece of a game? Yeah. You may not have heard of Sifu, but it's truly something else. Now this video is all about giving you a rundown of what makes this game so damn good. Now, before we dive into the story mechanics, let's talk about the basics. Sifu isn't just a beat-em-up, it's a game about mastery and revenge, with a mechanic that makes it stand out. Each time you die, you don't die, you age. That's right, you are older and stronger, but more fragile with each death. It's a unique way to reflect the journey of learning and improvement. Now, our story kicks off with you playing as some Asian dude out for revenge. Basically, you tried to steal a talisman that would give you eternal life. But this old dude stopped you. Why? I don't know. He wanted to protect it, I guess. Now, you're out for blood, and you will stop at nothing. Because, well, you don't really play as that emo Asian dude. Later in the story, as he's about to grab that talisman, you come out of a little cabinet. And then a dude with a machete literally kills your ass. Anyway, now you're out for revenge and will stop at nothing 8 years later because you were revived by some magic coins. Now here's a fun detail. The story actually connects to real Chinese philosophy around Kung Fu, specifically Wuda, or martial virtue. As you age, the challenge of reaching your goal becomes harder, but your mastery grows. It's all about the cost of revenge, something the game makes you feel both through the aging system and the difficulty curve. Now, when your health bar reaches 0, you die, but with those same glowing coins, you revive, with a few more years on you. And this is where the skill tree comes in. You can unlock a range of new abilities, from basic punches to a crotch punch. That's what it's called. Anyway, but my personal favorite is the chasing trip cook. Nothing feels better than landing that one. It just feels so damn good. Now, you can also spend XP to permanently unlock skills, meaning that they stay even after you start a new run. This adds a cool layer of strategy, making you think, do I need to spend XP now for a quick edge, or save up to make one permanent? It's this balancing act that adds replayability, and it's genius. Now, throughout the levels, you'll find dragon shrines, which act as checkpoints and also offer upgrades. These shrines are essential for your survival, as they allow you to invest in 3 different paths. There's your age path, your score path, and your XP path. These upgrades let you improve things like your health gain on takedown, your weapon durability, or your structure meter, which is kind of like a stamina bar. Now, these choices may seem small at first, but they actually have a huge impact on how you play. If you focus on upgrading your health on takedowns, you can take more risks in combat. If you invest in your structure, you can parry longer. The shrines are basically the game's way of letting you choose your own playstyle. Now, each shrine feels like a breath of relief when you find it, especially in the tougher levels like the tower. It's a moment to catch your breath, reassess, and make decisions that will impact your entire run. It's these small elements that make each playthrough unique, giving you new ways to approach every fight. Okay, let's get started with the squats. This is the squats, the gang hideout. Right off the bat, you're thrown to a gritty warehouse setting. From stoners to boss-like guys, everybody's out to get you. Now, the first major fight is actually really interesting. It immediately switches your perspective to a 2D hallway where you're taking on a swarm of enemies. Now, one cool thing about this level is it shows off Sifu's environmental combat. You can grab brooms, bottles, and use other objects as weapons, making each fight unique. This level is filled with tight spaces, which force you to think about positioning. One wrong move and you're dead. Now, another standout of the squats is the boss, Fajar, who represents the wood element in Sifu's 5 elements theme. Fajar is a botanist and he is a drug lord, and as you fight him, he becomes more animalistic, embodying nature's more vicious side. His attacks are wild and unpredictable, making the boss battle feel like a fight against a force of nature. This encounter is just a brutal wake-up call, showing how difficult this journey is actually going to be. Now, let's move on to the club. Welcome to the club. This nightclub is probably one of the most memorable levels in the game, where the music pulses in the background as you speed through, killing everybody in your path. The design of this level amps up the difficulty, and you're introduced to Sifu's iconic lighting and set pieces. Now, in this level, every enemy has a unique look that reflects their personality. Basically, there's a lot of bouncers everywhere, reflecting the club aspect, but there's a lot of martial artists reflecting the trials. And you face all of them. They're all tough as nails, and the game's AI is no joke, making them actually coordinate each other on higher difficulties, making every fight a mini boss battle. Now, the boss of this level is Sean, who wields a staff and represents the fire element. He cannot drop this staff, by the way. I've tried to make him drop it. It doesn't work, even when you knock him on the ground. Now, his attacks are rhythmic, fast, hard to dodge, creating an intense showdown that feels like an actual dance. This boss's fight setting, a fiery dojo in the back of a club, intensifies the atmosphere, making it feel like a trial by fire. Sean's speed and strength force you to stay on your toes, making this one of the hardest but most satisfying fights in the game. Now, the museum. The museum's level is like a showcase for the visual design of Sifu. You're in an art gallery surrounded by abstract sculptures and intense lighting. This isn't just for show. Each exhibit has an enemy waiting for you. It's like a maze of combat. Now, it also dives a bit into the backstory of Kuroki, the boss of this level. She's an artist and assassin with a tragic past. The museum's exhibits even reflect her inner conflict. You're fighting through a twisted view of the world, which adds depth and intensity to all the encounter. Kuroki is connected to the water element, and her attacks flow gracefully, and it's almost impossible to predict where she's going to move. She moves with precision, and when you reach her second phase, all she does is she goes crazy, embodying an insane mirror version of her sister that she killed long ago. It's like fighting a piece of art, elegant, deadly, and unpredictable. It's haunting, it's mesmerizing, and it makes you feel like you're confronting a living nightmare in a museum. Now on to the tower. The tower is a corporate, sleek, and modern, totally different setting from the other levels. It's packed with ruthless enemies, all working for the powerful CEO you're hunting. Now in this level, the enemy variety ramps up. You encounter bodyguards with advanced skills, and if you're not careful, they can drain your health really quickly. It's all about strategic takedowns and mastering crowd control. Each floor you clear feels like another layer of a ginormous-ass boss battle. Now the boss here is Jinfeng, who represents the metal element. Her attacks are deliberate and sharp, because she wields a long chain that acts almost like a whip. Her whole vibe is about control and precision, which matches the level's corporate structured aspect. It's a challenging fight and requires patience and perfect timing to break her defenses down and finally defeat her. And her second phase is no better. She tricks you into thinking of catching her little bell thing as she brings you in and then kicks you. Now, the final level is the Sanctuary, a serene setting that stands in stark contrast to the other levels. It's peaceful, like a healing retreat, but lurking here is your final target, Yang. The man, the myth, the legend. He's easily the toughest boss in the game. Not only does he match your moves, but he's designed to be a mirror of you. He parries your attacks, counters your moves, and he cannot be thrown, focused, and it's really hard to sweep him. It's almost impossible to actually kill Yang unless you're incredibly good at the game. Now, Yang represents the element of mercy, actually, and he's built to embody balance and resilience. His ability to counter every move you throw at him makes it feel like you're fighting your own shadow, or a perfected version of yourself. The serene natural surroundings add an eerie calm to this battle, making it the ultimate test of everything you've learned about patience, control, and skill. Now, a few actual extra facts I want to throw in, though, before I end the video. The tower is very interesting to me, because there's a little cave bit at the end, and it also sets up a few, different opportunities for a sequel. Basically, there is a room where you fight, a Sean disciple, I believe, and she goes on about the Guardians, a bunch of people who have decided that they want to protect the talismans, one being Sean's father. Now, another fact about the club, actually, Sean killed his own father to obtain the fire talisman. That's why he's fighting so hard to protect it. But anyway, as you go through the tower and the museum, those are the more lore-heavy ones. Like, Kuroki's, all of her exhibits are all about the death of her sister and how much she mourns it. And it's almost impossible to also it's just crazy. But with Yang's final fight is insane. It's nuts. And I have no idea how I beat him. But I can beat him time and time again. But his fight always feels new to me. He reacts to your playstyle. He'll throw counters at you if you counter him back. It doesn't matter. He'll throw uncounterable structure breaker attacks. And it's almost impossible to actually kill him. So that's Sifu. A game that brings mastery, revenge, and age into a beautifully brutal package. Each level, each boss, Each mechanic is designed to challenge you to push to improve. Now before we wrap, here's the takeaway. It's not a game about just beating enemies. It's about fighting yourself, pushing past your own limits, and making every hit count. I could play this game 100 times over and still find ways to master it. But one more thing before I go. Instead of just getting to the boss's second phase and then killing them right there, just break their structure bar and wait a bit. See what happens. Anyway, that's the video. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye.